So that's a little bit better.
No, I do agree that we are hitting a forward passion here.
Yeah. But I guess you're right. Let's just get through it.
Don't sound too excited.
Yeah. Woo!
Yay.
Yay.
All right. I'll start off.
Yeah.
Since you're Debbie Downer over here.
It's been a long day, all right?
It's been a long day for me too. I drove 2 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, 2.5. Got stuck in traffic on 75 for like 45 minutes.
Golly, that sucks.
Rough.
Yeah.
All right. If thou man stealeth a sheep or an oxeth. Oh, sorry.
You in King James or something?
No. James version itself.
Oh.
If a man steals an ox or a sheep and kills it or sells it, he shall repay 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief is found breaking in and is struck so that he dies, there shall be no blood guilt for him. But if the sun is risen on him, there shall be blood guilt for him. He shall surely pay. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the stolen beast is found alive in his possession, whether it is an ox or a donkey or a sheep, he shall pay double. If a man causes a field or a vineyard to be grazed over or lets his beast loose and it feeds into another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best in his own field and in his own vineyard. Seems pretty fair.
Yeah.
If a fire breaks out and catches in thorns so that the stacked grain or the standing grain or the field is consumed, he who started the fire shall make full restitution. If a man gives to his neighbor money or goods to keep safe and it is stolen from the man's house, then if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, the owner of the house shall come near to God to show whether or not he has put his hand to his neighbor's property. For every breach of trust, whether it is for an ox, for a donkey, for a sheep, for a cloak, or for any kind of a lost thing, of which one says, "This is it," the case of both parties shall come before God. The one whom God condemns shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man gives to his neighbor a donkey or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep safe, and it dies or is injured or is driven away without anyone seeing it, an oath by the Lord shall be between them, both to see whether or not he has put his hand to the neighbor's property. But the owner shall accept the oath, and he shall not make restitution. But if it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to its owner. If it is torn by beast, let him bring it as evidence. He shall not make restitution for what has been torn. If a man borrows anything of his neighbor, and it is injured or dies, the owner not being with it, he shall make full restitution. If the owner was with it, he shall not make restitution. If it was hired, it came for its hiring fee. Honestly, it seems like pretty fair stuff.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it's almost kind of like common morals, it seems like.
Yeah.
You need to take a drink of water or something. Your voice is a little scratchy there.
Little hoarse. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
Was it from yesterday?
Probably. Yeah. We're out there on the mini golf course and it was cold. I was drinking beer. So
yeah.
Not a good combo. All right. Laws about social justice. If a man seduces a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall give the bride price for her and make her his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money equal to the bride price for virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. It's pretty harsh. Yeah. Whoever lies with an animal shall be put to death. Also pretty harsh, but
I mean, you shouldn't animals, man. Oh, sorry.
Bleep. Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoever sacrifices to any god other than the Lord alone shall be devoted to destruction. You shall not wrong a sojourner or oppress him, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If you do mistreat them and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall become widows, and your children fatherless.
Wow.
Treat your neighbor well. Treat your neighbor well.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you lend money to any people, to any of my people, with you who is poor, you shall not be like a moneylender to him, and you shall not exact interest from him. If you ever take your neighbor's cloak and pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down, for that is his only covering, and it is cloak for his body. And what else shall he sleep? And if he cries to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. You shall not revile God, nor curse a ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer from the fullness of your harvest and from the outflow of your presses. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. You shall do the same with your oxen and with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with its mother, and on the 8th day you shall give it to me. You shall be consecrated to me, therefore you shall not eat any flesh that is torn by beast in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs.
Hmm. I don't really have anything to go over there.
I don't either. I mean, it's
Pretty
all
all
pretty straightforward.
straightforward. Yeah. Jinx.
I will say, once again, I'm glad I didn't live under this law. Like
Yeah, honestly.
a lot of this
Ye
stuff is pretty honestly pretty good. Like it's pretty fair, but it's
Yeah.
pretty harsh, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and it just like you've said so much in the past, like, it goes to show you how much like, this is God's bar, basically, like, he's like, "This is where your standards should be," and it just shows us, like, how far under the bar we are,
Right.
like, we're never gonna be great in the eyes of God to a degree, like, we're not ever gonna be able to follow all of these laws and commandments, and that's
Until
the
we got my
important
boy
thing.
Jesus coming along. Then we got
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's because Jesus saved us, we don't need to worry about it so much. I mean, yeah,
My
it's still
boy.
good to do these things that's kinda listed in these laws, but
I mean,
we're
it's
not
just
held
pretty
to that
much treating
standard.
people fairly, right?
Yeah,
That's what it's saying.
honestly. Yeah. Yeah, at least that last chapter, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So, alright. Exodus 23. Whoa. Sorry, my light almost kicked it over.
Oh.
You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. You shall not fall in with the many to do evil, nor shall you bear witness in a lawsuit, siding with the many, so as to pervert justice, nor shall you be partial to a poor man in his lawsuit. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall bring it back to him. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying down under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You shall rescue it with him. You shall not pervert the justice due to your poor in his lawsuit. Keep far from a false charge, and do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not acquit the wicked. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the clear sighted and subverts the cause of those who are in the right. You shall not oppress a sojourner. You know the heart of a sojourner, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. I do want to preface this too. He is talking directly to his people, the Israelites.
Yes.
Okay. So there you could say like, well, this is for God's people. I mean, it's kind of general rules that everyone should follow by, but he's not talking to the Gentiles in this case, which,
No. No.
we
This
would be
is
considered.
maybe. I don't think the bloodlines were tracked other than like the Jews. You know.
Yeah, well, basically anyone who's not a Jew is a Gentile, right?
No, because a Jew is from the line of Judah. Remember, we
So
found this
like
out
Jews and
before.
Hebrews, essentially, right?
Mhm.
But anyone who's not a Jew or a Hebrew would be considered a Gentile,
A Jew comes from the line of Judah.
right?
And Judah was one of the 12 sons of Israel.
Yeah, one of the 12 tribes, right?
Yeah. All 12 tribes are considered Israelites,
Hmm.
not just the line of Judah.
Right. But wouldn't that mean though that anyone who's not from those 12 tribes would be a Gentile?
Yes. But
Okay.
we don't know what those other 11 tribes are as far as like bloodline goes. We know Jew because that one was like tracked down. But
Hmm.
like we don't know like who the people of Benjamin are, you know. We don't know who the people of Joseph are.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter though,
Yeah,
because
you're right.
since the coming of Jesus, but this is following the Israelites, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But who
we're still
knows? You could
talking about
have
people that he rescued out of Egypt.
mhm, right, which is including all of Israel at this point.
Right. Right.
Yeah, not just the Jews.
Yeah. Yeah, because the people of Israel are God's people,
Yes. Yeah.
God's chosen people,
Yes.
because we're all children of God.
Right. And remember, the tribe of Israel is the 12 sons of Jacob.
Right.
That's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
To all the kids, the lineage of Jacob.
Right. And that's why he was renamed Israel. And that's why it's the 12 tribes of Israel. Because
Yes.
if it was his 12 sons,
Yep.
that
And
makes
Jewish
sense.
is just from the tribe of Judah.
Was Judah one of his sons too?
Yes. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. I was double checking.
Yeah. We can go back and reread the names if you want to.
No, thank you.
Are you sure? Well, we can work it out.
Chances are we're going to have to read it again anyway, somewhere down the line. Laws about the Sabbath and festivals. For 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its yield. But the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat. And what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. Oh, and what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. You shall do likewise with your vineyard and with your olive orchard. 6 days you shall do your work, but on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your servant woman and the alien may be refreshed.
The alien.
Yeah. Yeah, alien, I think that just means like someone like a sojourner, like someone not from the land.
That would make sense.
No, God knows there's aliens out there, man. It's a big universe.
Dude, God created the Anunnaki.
Pay attention to all that I have said to you, and make no mention of the names of other gods, nor let it be heard on your lips. 3 times in the year you shall keep a feast to me. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread, as I commanded you. You shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days at the appointed time in the month of Abib. For in it you came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty handed. You shall keep the feast of harvest, of the first fruits of your labor, of what you sow in the field. You shall keep the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather in from the field the fruit of your labor. 3 times in the year shall your males appear before the Lord God. Why is it like have different spelling right there? It's really weird.
A
You know,
different
you
font.
see that?
Yeah, not
Huh?
spelling, but font. Yeah.
Or yeah, font. Yeah, that's right. Font. Weird. Someone's got to get their stuff together, man. Could you imagine typing all of this out, the whole Bible,
Nah.
for this app? Oh my gosh. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, or let the fat of my feast remain until the morning. The best of the first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. That seems messed up, man. To boil a goat in its mother's milk?
Probably tastes pretty good.
Yeah, but it just seems so messed up. God says not to do it. You can't do it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not saying I've done it. I'm just saying it probably tastes pretty good.
You can use
There's probably a
uh,
reason he
a
had to
different
siphon
goat's
this.
milk.
Yeah. He siphoned it for a reason, man. It's really tasty.
God's like, I'm saving that one for myself.
Yeah. No boiling goat.
Conquest of Canaan promised. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared. Pay careful attention to him and obey his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you carefully obey his voice and do all that I say, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. When my angel goes before you and brings you to the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I blot them out, you shall not bow down to their gods nor serve them, nor do as they do, but you shall utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror before you and will throw into confusion all the people against whom you shall come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the wild beasts multiply against you. Little by little I will drive them out from before you, until you have increased and possessed the land. And I will set your border from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates. For I will give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them and their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it, it will surely be a snare to you. I always find it interesting that God isn't saying like that there's no other gods. He's not saying I'm the only God. He's just saying I'm the almighty God.
Right. Yeah.
I know we've talked about that quite a few times, but
It's always interesting.
yeah, it's just something to point out in this case because it's mentioned quite a few times through this chapter.
Yeah.
Don't bow down to other gods, man. There's one and only true God.
Yep. They out there.
Mm-hmm. Other gods are probably like fallen angels or something.
Yeah. There's a whole like theory. I've been like digging into all the not hypothesis, but like all the theories of what people think about them. And it's
You're a
really
conspiracy theorist, James?
a little bit. But no, it's fascinating because you get these guys who can read a lot of the old languages. Michael Hauser, I think his name was. He was one of them. He just passed away recently, but he has some really cool stuff when it pertains to that.
Mm.
He like breaks down the hierarchies of the angels and the different kinds of fallen angels and like the difference between that, demons, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And a lot of talk about the Nephilim and whatnot. So really fascinating stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind reading the Book of Enoch or Enoch.
Oh, yeah. Check it out, dude. What I bought the other day.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's got the Book of Enoch in there, but I've already read
Oh, cool.
Enoch. So I got all the extra ones now too. That includes the stuff that's in like the Catholic Bible too.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
Read that in supplementation. I probably won't touch it for a little bit, but
yeah,
got some other books to go through first.
Yeah, still got these. Was it like 66 books?
A lot, yeah. This thing is thick too, dude. Like, compare it with my ESV Bible. Like, this is how thick that the ESV Bible is.
Mm-hmm.
And look how thick this Apocrypha is.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, granted, the print's a lot bigger, but still, it's not.
Yeah, but also in the ESV, that's a study Bible, so it has a bunch of extra words in it because of the explanations and stuff like that. Like they have maps and other things.
It's still pretty small lettering.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. But it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So wait, what's the Apocrypha again? Is that the Catholic Bible?
So I think this is more because the Catholic Bible adds in an extra 7 books, I want to say.
On top of the 66, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this one is also including the Book of Enoch, which is not in the Catholic Bible, but that's in the Ethiopian Bible. So it's got those 7 books, and then it's got the Book of Enoch in there. And then I think it's got some other things in there too. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know. I didn't do enough research on it. I just was like, oh, this has like a bunch of them. So
pretty cool.
Yeah. Some supplementation.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going. The covenant confirmed. Then he said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar. Moses alone shall come near to the Lord, but the others shall not come near, and the people shall not come up with him. Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the rules. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words the Lord has spoken, we will do. And Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord. He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he set the young men of the people of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of the oxen to the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood he threw against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do, and we will be obedient. Yeah, right.
Yeah, not for long.
And Moses took the blood and threw it on the people. Nasty. And said,
yeah,
behold, the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. There was under his feet, as it were, pavement of sapphire stone, like the very heaven for clearness. And he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld God and ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and wait there, that I may give you the tablet of stone with the law and the commandment, which I have written for their instruction. So Moses with his assistant Joshua and Moses went up into the mountain of God, and he said to the elders, wait here for us until we return to you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. Whoever has a dispute, let him go to them. Then Moses went up on the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of the Lord dwelt on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And on the seventh day, he called to Moses out of the midst of the cloud. Now the appearance of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the sight of the people of Israel. Moses entered the cloud and went up on the mountain, and Moses was on the fiery mountain 40 days and 40 nights.
Wow.
God was like, open up the heavens. Under his feet were like sapphire stones.
Oh yeah, you're rereading that. I didn't want to check that out again. What verse was that?
10. That's neat.
Huh. That is pretty
Now,
cool.
I heard a theory the other day that blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you know how when Jesus does the transfiguration in front of the disciples and Moses and Elijah both appear to him?
Mm-hmm.
So, when Jesus does that, he's at the top of a mountain.
Right.
Moses, when he gets these commandments, is at the top of Mount Sinai. The only other person in the Bible that goes to the top of the mountain to pray is Elijah. So the theory was, what if there was a time warp and everything melted together in that moment? And Jesus was speaking to Elijah and Moses at the same time.
Right, directly. Yeah. Yeah, actually I did hear that theory too. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that blew my
Man,
mind.
it makes total sense too.
Yeah.
Because I believe Moses and Elijah mentioned that at some point, right? Like speaking to the sun directly.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
like
speaking
that's
to the sun. I don't know. Do they?
I thought so. I thought that's what was mentioned in the version that I saw.
Because
I guess we'll find out because we're reading
right here it says the
through
Father.
Moses' story.
It does say the Father. Oh, it just says they saw the God of Israel,
Yeah.
which is still pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Well, and Moses goes up to the top of the mountain quite a few times.
Right.
So it may not have been this exact moment. Wait, and this part, verse 10, he's not on the mountain yet. And Moses took the blood and threw it on the people. Behold, the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you. So they just got done with the feast, or they're about to feast. Yeah. Because after that, people ate and drank. So at this point, at least in accordance with verse 10, he's not on top of the mountain yet. But
But
they
then right
saw.
before 10, it says they went up.
Oh, yeah, it does say that.
Then Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel.
Oh, huh.
And then after that, again, it says, Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and wait there.
Okay, so they went like partially up the mountain.
I guess. Regardless,
Mm,
though, because right after that, Moses goes all the way up.
right. That's why I was confused for a second because
Yeah.
verse 12. So yeah, they must have went like part of the way up because they can't see God like Moses can, or else they'll like
Right
die.
here, they're saying they did, though.
Yeah, you're right. In verse 10,
Hmm.
I know he mentioned it in like the other chapters that we read. He's like, the people can't see me lest they die.
It said here, right? Verse 1. Then he said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar. Moses alone shall come near to the Lord, but the others shall not come near, and the people shall
Mm,
not come up with him.
interesting.
So yeah, it's probably like they went like partially up from afar. So like
Yeah.
him and then his crew and then the 70 elders went up like part way, and then Moses like, you got to stop here so you can see
Right.
him from here from this far, but only I can get close.
Yeah.
Because then
And if you think about it, if it says there was under his feet as it were of pavement of sapphire stone,
Mhm.
so maybe they couldn't see him like they could see him, but not like super clearly where it would affect them. I don't know. Unless he just changed his mind at this point. He's like, yeah, these guys can see me. It's fine.
Or unless it's Jesus that they're saying, because you can lay eyes
Hmm.
on Jesus, right?
Yeah,
Food for thought.
that is food for thought. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Hmm.
Because I definitely subscribe to the idea that Jesus has always been alive. Like,
Oh yeah, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit,
right,
right? They're a Trinity. It's
right.
three. So he always has been up until the time where he actually was in human form, right? And his spirit's still with God, but he's in human form. I don't know how all that works. That's
Right.
we gotta ask God when we get to the pearly gates, right? Or ask Jesus.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. I mean, it does, but it doesn't, right?
Right.
Like, I can wrap my head around it for now, as much as you can, at least.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't
Yeah.
fully wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
But I like that though. It is food for thought. Hmm. I like I like how it's Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights as well.
Mm,
It's like just like Jesus being in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights.
yep.
Hmm. Of course, you get a short chapter.
Oh,
I
is it
feel
me
like
reading?
huh?
Is it me reading again?
No, 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 no. It's my turn.
Oh, I was about to say. I thought I just read.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Right, you could have
Um,
gaslit me so hard right there. I was like, wait a minute.
yeah, I know that last chapter was pretty short. I was looking through this one real quick. I'm like, oh my god, of course,
If you want to like tap me in it like halfway, let me know.
it should be all right. I'll manage. Exodus 20. I'm such a complainer. I don't know why.
No, it just like it's just tonight. You're just like, well, I don't know if I want to read this. It's really boring.
Well, I definitely wanted to read at least these couple of chapters because they're less boring. Once
Yeah,
we
you
get
were
to like
saying
the
like the
building
tabernacle.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, and this is the start of it because he's telling them everything they need for to build it. God, it's just so repetitive. All right, contributions for the sanctuary. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the people of Israel that they take for me a contribution. From every man whose heart moves him, you shall receive the contribution for me. And this is the contribution that you shall receive from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twined linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, goat skins, acacia wood, oil for the lamps, spices for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense, onyx stones and stones for setting, for the ephod and for the breastpiece. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell in their midst. Exactly as I show you concerning the pattern of the tabernacle and of all its furniture, so you shall make it. The Ark of the Covenant. See, I remember in reading through, I think it was David, like David, like the Ark of the Covenant got stolen and he went and got it back
Yep.
because like it was causing like some really bad stuff to happen to the people who stole it.
Yep.
I think it's just really cool, like thinking back when I read through that and now like we're in the part where they're building it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like whoever had the ark couldn't lose.
Right, right. Except for when it was stolen because
Right. But
those people were losing.
they lost. Yeah, because God was like, I don't belong to you.
Yep. The Ark of the Covenant. They shall make an ark of acacia wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be its length, a cubit and a half its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. Do you know how much a cubit is?
There's speculation on it. So there's a lot of theories about it. But the one that I kind of equate it to in my head is about a yard.
Oh, a yard. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, there's a lot of speculation on it.
Like a yard or meter, maybe somewhere around that.
Yeah. Let me Google it real quick. Around 18 inches.
Really? That's it?
So it says. Well, that's what Google AI says.
Oh, it was based on the length of the forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. Interesting. Hmm.
Is it? Where do you see that?
Yeah, AI, Google AI.
Oh, yeah. And again, that's speculation, right?
Yeah, it
So
says
there's-
explanation. The exact length of a cubit varied between different ancient cultures. In some ancient cultures, a cubit was as long as 21 inches. The cubit was used by many ancient and medieval peoples. It may have originated in Egypt around 3000 BC. In ancient Greek units of measurement, the standard forearm cubit was approximately 18 inches. Okay, cool. So in Hebrew, it's 17 and a half. Babylonian, 19.8. Hebrew long, 20.4. I don't know. This stuff's kind of irrelevant, but I think it's cool.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think they know exactly the size. So that's what I was saying. There's a lot of debate about it.
So it seems like anywhere between like 18 to 21, 22 inches.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get like an
An
idea
idea.
of like how
Yeah.
big it was, which they're not as big as I thought they were, to be honest. For some reason, I was just imagining a cubit to be like closer to like 3 yards or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
why. Yeah.
Probably because of Noah's Ark.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it also gives the dimensions on how to build the ark in the Bible as well,
Mm.
which we've already,
All right.
in theory, read through because that's in
Y-
Genesis.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too. We should probably go back and read Genesis, but
We just read it like twice, dude.
I know, bro. It's
We
all
just
right.
got to keep.
We'll get to that point.
Yeah.
All right. You shall overlay it with pure gold, inside and outside. Sh- Shall you overlay it, and you shall make on it a molding of gold around it. You shall cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them on its 4 feet, 2 rings on the one side of it, and 2 rings on the other side of it. You shall make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. And you shall put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark by them. The poles shall remain in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And you shall put into the ark the testimony that I shall give you. You shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be its length, and a cubit and a half its breadth. And you shall make two cherubim of gold, of hammered work, shall you make them, on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Make one cherub on the one end, and one cherub on the other end. Of one piece with the mercy seat shall you make the cherubim on its 2 ends. The cherubim shall spread out their wings above, overshadowing the mercy seat with their wings, their faces to one another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubim be. And you shall put the mercy seat on the top of the ark, and in the ark you shall put the testimony that I shall give you. There I will meet with you, and from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim that are on the ark of the testimony, I will speak with you about all that I will give you in commandment for the people of Israel. the table for bread. You shall make a table of acacia wood. 2 cubits shall be its length, a cubit its breadth, and a cubit and a half its height. You shall overlay it with pure gold and make a molding of gold around it. And you shall make a rim around it a handbreadth wide, and a molding of gold around the rim. And you shall make for it 4 rings of gold, and fasten the rings to the 4 corners at its 4 legs. Close to the frame the rings shall lie, as holders for the poles to carry the table. You shall make the poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with gold, and the table shall be carried with these. And you shall make its plates and dishes for incense, and its flagons and bowls with which to pour drink offerings. You shall make them of pure gold. And you shall set the bread of the presence on the table before me regularly. The golden lampstand. You shall make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand shall be made of hammered work. Its base, its stem, its cups, its calyxes, and its flowers shall be of one piece with it. And there shall be 6 branches going out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side of it, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of the other side of it. 3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with calyx and flower on one branch, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with calyx and flower on the other branch. So for the 6 branches going out of the lampstand. And on the lampstand itself there shall be 4 cups made like almond blossoms with their calyxes and flowers, and a calyx of one piece with it under each pair of the 6 branches going out from the lampstand. Their calyxes and their branches shall be of one piece with it, the whole of it a single piece of hammered work of pure gold. You shall make 7 lamps for it, and the lamps shall be set up as to give light on the space in front of it. Its tongs and their trays shall be of pure gold. It shall be made with all these utensils out of a talent of pure gold. And see that you make them after the pattern for them, which is being shown you on the mountain.
I think that probably would look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what a calyx is?
No.
I don't either. I'm going to Google it. The sepals of a flower, typically forming a whorl that encloses the petals and forms a protective layer around a flower and bud. A cup-like cavity or structure.
Trying to look at a picture of it.
What does it look like?
I don't even know. I don't even see it. What the heck? Oh, calyx are like the leaves coming like just underneath the flower.
Underneath the flower?
Yeah, so like you know how like when you see it start to bud and there's like leaves directly around the bud?
Yep.
Yeah, the calyx are like the leaves at the base of the flower. According to this picture. Cuz like some of these pictures I'm looking at, they don't even show a calyx.
I'm going to look up like a picture of the golden lampstand.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh. See if you can see it here.
Oh, you're sharing? Okay, yeah. I was about to say I was gonna share it if you didn't.
Yeah, so see like this like kind of like a leaf that the flower comes out of. I guess that's the calyx.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, it just took it over. Yeah, this is the golden lampstand
Oh,
kind of looks like a Hanukkah
or it's not.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that called? It doesn't say it there. What is
uh
that called?
the Hanukkah one?
Yeah, the
Okay, you know what? We looked this up in a previous podcast and I
what
don't
is
remember.
the candle holder for Hanukkah called?
See, I kind of envision it more like this because you see how
A
it has like
menorah.
the flower, a menorah, yeah. See how this one has like the flowers like spurting out of it, or the calyxes, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of more how I envisioned it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like this, yeah.
Oh yeah. See, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he listed that, right? Let's see.
Yeah. Up the
3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with a calyx and flower on one branch, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms, each with a calyx and flower on the other branch. So yeah, that is more so what you just showed is more so what he's explaining. Looks pretty cool.
yeah. I like how we look up the lampstand and not the ark.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's do it then.
Yeah, I think they're like. I mean, we all saw Indiana Jones as kids, right?
I saw it so long ago. There's no way I could remember.
Yeah. I was about to say,
Interesting.
yeah, like with it's got the rings going through it with the poles. The
Yeah.
poles aren't to move ever. It's got the 2 cherubim looking at each other, or the 2 angels, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these pictures though, like where the poles are higher up, it's said to put it at its feet. So like this third picture here looks more like about what it would be as far as where the poles should be positioned, or this fourth picture.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. I kind of always envisioned it up more to the top instead of at the
Yeah,
base.
kind of
But
like
yeah.
this first one in the second row.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, it still looks pretty cool, but if we're going for a biblical description here, I mean, it would make sense too, because when you're carrying it, you want it to be above like the people carrying it, right? That's why it's at the feet. I guess if they're carrying
I
it like on their
guess.
shoulders.
Yeah, on their shoulders,
I mean,
yeah.
if you're just carrying it down, I guess it wouldn't really, but
All right, well, we can keep going.
yeah, you got a little sidetracked here.
Hey, at least we have a better idea of what it looks like that we're reading about, right?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
visualization going on.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to read the Tabernacle. The one that you
Yeah.
were so excited to read.
Yeah. It was basically all of this, like all the making of all this stuff. Like, while I think it's cool, it's just so repetitive because it's like the same stuff. Make it
Yeah.
of gold and bronze and acacia wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, give me a second before we keep going. Let's put it on pause real quick. I have to go pull some meat off the grill. It's been
Okay.
smoking. Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. There we go.
The tabernacle. Moreover, you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet yarns. You shall make them with a cherubim, skillfully worked into them. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits, and all the curtains shall be the same size. 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And you shall make loops of the blue on the edge of the outermost curtain in the first set. Likewise, you shall make the loops on the edge of the outermost curtain in the second set. 50 loops you shall make on the one curtain, and 50 loops you shall make on the edge of the curtain that is in the second set. The loops shall be opposite one another, and you shall make 50 clasps of gold, and couple the curtains one to the other with the clasp, so that the tabernacle may be a single whole. You shall also make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains you shall make. The length of each curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains shall be the same size. You shall couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And the 6th curtain you shall double over at the front of the tent. You shall make 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in the second set. You shall make 50 clasps of bronze, and put the clasp into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be a single whole. And the part that remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. And the extra that remains in the length of the curtains, the cubit on the one side and the cubit on the other side, shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and that side to cover it. And you shall make for the tent a covering of tanned ram skins and a covering of goat skins on top. You shall make upright frames for the tabernacle of acacia wood. 10 cubits shall be the length of a frame, and a cubit and a half breadth of each frame. There shall be 2 tenons in each frame for fitting together. So shall you do for all the frames of the tabernacle. You shall make the frames for the tabernacle 20 frames for the south side, and the 40 bases of silver you shall make under the 20 frames. 2 bases under one frame for its 2 tenons, and 2 bases under the next frame for its 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, 20 frames, and their 40 bases of silver, 2 bases under one frame, and 2 bases under the next frame. And for the rear of the tabernacle, westward, you shall make 6 frames. And you shall make 2 frames for corners of the tabernacle in the rear, and they shall be separate beneath, but joined at the top, at the first ring. Thus shall it be with both of them. They shall form the 2 corners, and there shall be 8 frames with their bases of silver, 16 bases, 2 bases under one frame, and 2 bases under another frame. This is really revolutionary stuff.
Dude, it's so exciting.
You shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frames of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the frames of the side of the tabernacle at the rear westward. The middle bar, halfway up the frames, shall run from end to end. You shall overlay the frames with gold, and shall make their rings of gold for holders for the bars, and you shall overlay the bars with gold. Then you shall erect the tabernacle according to the plan for it that you were shown on the mountain. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet yarns, fine twined linen. It shall be made with cherubim, skillfully worked into it. You shall hang it on 4 pillars of acacia wood, overlaid with gold, with hooks of gold, on 4 bases of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the clasp, and bring the ark of the testimony in there within the veil. And the veil shall separate for you the holy place from the most holy. You shall put the mercy seat on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And you shall set the table outside the veil. And the lampstand on the south side of the tabernacle opposite of the table, and you shall put the table on the north side. You shall make a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twine linen, embroidered with needlework. And you shall make for the screen of 5 pillars of acacia, and overlay them with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold, and you shall cast 5 bases of bronze for them. I was trying to, what?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was trying to envision this in my mind, and I lost it after like the second sentence.
Yeah, you're right. So that's what I was actually going to say. It's in relation to that. By the time we get done reading all of the different stuff that has to be built, I want to look up a picture of the whole thing set up with
Yeah.
everything, like with the tent, the most holy place, the Ark of the Covenant, the table, like everything set up. I know our study Bible actually has a picture in it when you start reading through like this part or these few chapters where it's explaining everything, but we'll find one. We'll look it up so we can get a better idea.
We could put this into AI.
That's what I was thinking, honestly. Like
Yeah.
seeing what AI would do, translating this into a picture.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty much they're building a church, right? Essentially.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a
church.
It's like a sacrifice place to me.
What does tabernacle mean?
I think it's like a dwelling place. Are you looking it up?
Yep.
Like a tent or something.
A fixed or movable habitation, typically of light construction.
Mm.
A meeting place for worship used by some Protestants or Latter-day Saints, which are Mormons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's essentially what they're making, is a holy place to worship God and to give him offerings. So this is one of the ways that as we read through, it'll go over the offerings. It's basically like saying like, oh, if you do this sin, you can offer this and I will forgive you for that sin. Or if you want a peace offering, like maybe God help me with this or something. Yeah, it's a different offering.
Like just a place to go.
Yeah, a place to go worship, essentially.
Yeah.
Is what they're
church.
Yeah. But it's a holy place for God to dwell in, so he can dwell with his people.
Right.
So that's why it's so specific, because
so it's kind of like an altar.
Yeah. There are altars in it. That's actually the next chapter, the bronze altar.
The bronze altar.
Exodus 27. You shall make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be square, and its height shall be 3 cubits. And you shall make horns for it on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make pots for it to receive its ashes, and shovels and basins and forks and fire pans. You shall make all its utensils of bronze. You shall also make for it a grating, a network of bronze. And on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. And you shall set it under the ledge of the altar, so that the net extends halfway down the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put through the rings, so that the poles are on the 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. You shall make it hollow with boards. As it has been shown you on the mountain, so shall it be made. The court of the tabernacle. You shall make the court of the tabernacle. On the south side, the court shall have hangings of fine twined linen, 100 cubits long for one side. Its 20 pillars and their 20 bases shall be made of bronze, but the hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for its length.
Fillets? Or is it fillets? That's one
Well,
L.
because like fillets are like cuts of meat. I think they're fillets because it's talking about hooks.
Such an
on the
awkward word.
pillars.
Fillet. Sorry.
It's
ADD.
okay. Yeah, I was thinking that too when I read it, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced fillets in this context. I could be wrong though.
All the people at home screaming, "It's fillets!" That's probably fillets.
And likewise for its length on the north side there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, its pillars 20, and their bases 20, of bronze. But the hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side, there shall be hangings for 50 cubits, with 10 pillars and 10 bases. The breadth of the court on the front to the east shall be 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and 3 bases. On the other side, the hangings shall be 15 cubits with their 3 pillars and 3 bases. For the gate of the court there shall be a screen 20 cubits long of blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined linen, embroidered with needlework. It shall have 4 pillars and with them 4 bases. All the pillars around the court shall be filleted with silver. Their hooks shall be of silver, and their bases of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the breadth 50, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twined linen and bases of bronze. All the utensils of the tabernacle for every use, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court, shall be of bronze. Oil for the lamp. You shall command the people of Israel that they bring to you pure beaten olive oil for the light, that a lamp may regularly be set up to burn. In the tent of meeting, outside the veil, that is, before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever to be observed throughout their generations by the people of Israel.
Didn't realize you could burn olive oil. It's kind of cool.
Right? Pure beaten olive oil. I wonder if it has to be pure to burn like that.
That's not Hanukkah, right?
Hmm?
That's not Hanukkah, right? Like, isn't that something else? The story of Hanukkah? Weren't they in like war or something?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
I don't think this relates to Hanukkah. I thought Hanukkah was the celebration of oh no, that wouldn't make sense. I was going to say of Jesus's life, because that's when he was born, right? It's around Christmas time. So that's
Well,
why.
supposedly, not many people think he was actually born around there.
Oh,
It was
really?
a day to commemorate like his birth.
Mm. Hence the name Christmas, Christ.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah,
There
that's
were,
actually something that's really interesting. Christmas is like gotten so far away from it, but the original idea of it was because it was the day that Jesus was born. You know?
yeah. Now all we do is buy presents. We get things that we buy stuff that where Jesus
Right.
is telling us, like, don't worry about this earthly stuff. We're over here.
Right. And then we
8,000.
glorify a fake thing that was made up by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, we lie to our kids.
Yeah, lie to our kids. I don't have kids yet, but probably will.
So I thought it was made up by Coca-Cola too. So just the image of him basically was made up. It
Yeah,
is based
I did
on
a deep dive on
Saint
this when Evan
Nicholas.
told me this the other day. I was like not having that.
Yeah, dude, I know. Cause I said the same thing to Bailey and we like looked it up.
Yeah.
And it does come from like Saint Nicholas.
Right, but it wasn't like a thing.
No, not the way we celebrate it today. It was
No.
definitely marketed, like Santa was marketed to
Yeah.
get us to buy more stuff.
Yeah, like the
100%.
big fat, like red wearing, red faced Jolly Santa that we know is by freaking Coca-Cola.
Yep. So they could sell more drinks in the wintertime.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How did that myth get how did that get turned into what we have now? That is insane.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
A
mean,
lot of kids don't even know that, like, what it was. My mom was actually telling me about that. Like, all the kids in her class, she teaches 2nd grade,
uh,
didn't even know that it was about, like, Jesus's birthday.
wow.
She's like, I don't know if I wanna say anything because I can get in trouble," because she's a school teacher,
Right.
and she can't, like,
Which I
say
find ridiculous. Isn't
Yeah.
Florida doing something about that? I know several other states have like implemented like religious studies into schools now.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
good.
like they're allowing the Bible to come back into schools, which it should have never been taken out of schools. I find that ridiculous.
Right. Well, that's
Um,
gotta be equal, right? Like, you should be able to have the Bible, but you should also be able to have, like, the Quran and stuff like that.
well, yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
this country's freedom of religion, right? So ideally, you should be able to still practice your religion like in school. You know what I mean? Like whether just reading the Bible or whatever, if you want to read the Quran, or you should be able to have all those things in them. They should never be taken out.
Right. Or a teacher be worried about teaching about what's in any of those books
Right,
without
exactly.
fear of getting arrested, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. Why do you think we don't have any teachers right now? One of the many reasons.
Yeah, because me and Bailey were talking about this for like a minute because like she was getting kind of upset about it.
Yeah.
Like them bringing it, no, them bringing it back into schools. And I was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, and I was like, "Why would you be upset about something like that?" She's like, "Well, they're forcing people who aren't necessary." I'm like, "No, they're not forcing anybody to be something specific." And we
Uh-uh.
looked it up, and it's not the fact that they're pushing Christianity down school kids' throats. They're just allowing the study of it to come back into schools,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's much needed right
We need to
now.
be able to know all the religions. Like, that's, like, part of, like, gaining knowledge.
Exactly.
Like, not just Christianity, but, like, other stuff too, you know?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Although in the last couple of chapters, God said not to mention other gods' names. We got to be careful.
We're not held to this law, my friend.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's kinda like at least we should definitely not glorify other gods.
No. No. Yeah, and I will say too, I think that that is a different take for different people in their walk with faith too. Like, I know me, I'm definitely more apt to go study some other religions and stuff like that and learn about it. But when you do that, you definitely are opening yourself up to like some spiritual warfare going
Mhm.
on. Um, but ultimately you come out of that and your faith is strengthened because you are allowing yourself to learn all these other things. And it kind of helps you connect the dots a lot too. But
Yeah,
then other people are like, nope, I'm not even gonna bother doing that.
should be fine.
You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think we should like it should obviously be there for us to learn from. We just
Right.
have to pray for that discernment and understanding and not get caught up into the, like the cultural aspects of it, like definitely not worshiping other gods or
Right.
or anything.
Oh, oh, you're going in and out.
Going in and out.
Yeah, your
Oh,
audio. Yeah, now your
it's my
screen's
Wi-Fi.
super blurry.
Me Wi-Fi. It's
All right.
bugging out.
It looks a little bit better now. It's clearer. All right, I'll keep all.
Okay, it went away, so it should be okay now. Does that sound better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exodus 28, the priest's garments. Then bring near to you Aaron your brother and his sons with him from among the people of Israel to serve me as priest. Aaron and Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, and you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and for beauty. He shall speak to all the skillful, whom I have filled with a spirit of skill, that they make Aaron's garments to consecrate him for my priesthood. These are the garments that they shall make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a coat of a checker work, a turban, and a sash.
I think
They
it's
shall,
ephod,
huh?
not an ephod, an ephod.
I like ephod.
Okay.
Not ephod. No, I'll say that.
I think I'm not 100%, but it just sounds more correct to me.
It's actually epod.
Epod.
All right. What do you say? Ephod?
Ephod.
Ephod.
I could be wrong. I'll look it up.
No.
while
I
you
said ephod.
read.
What is that?
An ephod?
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to look. Oh, it's ephod.
Oh,
We're,
look
so we're
at
both wrong. What is an ephod? Oh, ephod. Ephod meaning a linen apron worn in ancient Hebrew rites. An
Hmm,
apron, essentially.
okay. Boy, he's getting all tasseled up here in his clothes.
Yeah.
They shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother and his sons to serve me as priest. They shall receive gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet yarns, and fine twine linen. They shall make the ephod, or ephod, e- e-
Ephod.
ephod. There we go. They shall make the ephod of gold and blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and of fine twine linen, skillfully worked. And it shall have 2 shoulder pieces attached to its 2 edges, so that it may be joined together. And the skillfully woven band on it shall be made like it, and be of one piece with it, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet yarns, and fine twine linen. How many times can we say it?
Yeah.
Take a drink.
It's got like it's got like 50 more times. Let's go.
You shall take 2 onyx stones and engrave them on the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on the one stone, and the names of the remaining 6 on the other stone, in the order of their birth. As a jeweler engraves signets, so shall you engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel. You shall enclose them in settings of gold and filigree, and you shall set the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as stones of remembrance for the sons of Israel. And Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders for remembrance. You shall make settings of gold filigree and 2 chains of pure gold, twisted like cords, and you shall attach each of the corded chains to the settings. You shall make a breastpiece of judgment in skilled work, in the style of the ephod that you should make it of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarns, and fine twine linen you shall make it. It shall be square and doubled, a span, its length and its span of breadth. And you shall set it in 4 rows of stones, a row of sardius, topaz, and carbuncle shall be the first row. The second row, and the second row an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And on the third row, a jacinth, an agate, an amethyst, and in the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold filigree. There shall be 12 stones with their names according to the names of the sons of Israel. They shall be like the signets, each engraved with its name for the 12 tribes. You shall make for the breastpiece twisted chains like cords of pure gold, and you shall make for the breastpiece 2 rings of gold, and put the 2 rings on the 2 edges of the breastpiece. And you shall put the 2 cords of gold in the 2 rings at the edges of the breastpiece. The 2 ends of the 2 cords you shall attach the 2 settings of filigree, and so attach it in front to the shoulder pieces of the ephod. You shall make 2 rings of gold and put them at the 2 ends of the breastpiece on its inside edge next to the ephod. And you shall make 2 rings of gold and attach them in front of the lower part of the 2 shoulder pieces of ephod as its seam above the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastpiece by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, so that it may lie on the skillfully woven band of the ephod, so that the breastpiece shall not come loose from the ephod. How many times can I say ephod too? This and the fine twine linens, man.
Yeah, dude.
So Aaron shall bear the names of the sons of Israel in the breastplate of judgment on his heart when he goes into the holy place, to bring them to regular remembrance before the Lord. And in the breastpiece of judgment you shall put the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be on Aaron's heart where he goes in before the Lord. Thus Aaron shall bear the judgment of the people of Israel on his heart before the Lord regularly. You shall make the robe of the ephod all of blue. It shall have an opening for the heart, for the head in the middle of it, with woven binding around the opening, like the opening in a garment, so that it may not tear. On its hem you shall make pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet yarns around its hem, with bells of gold between them. Oh, not fine twine linen this time.
No, not this time.
A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate around the hem of the robe. That's twice. Bro, I'm just getting fed up.
Maybe Moses was hard of hearing. That's why God had to repeat this so many times.
Yeah, so it usually has Aaron speaking for him, but in this case, Moses was speaking. You know, it's got like a stutter.
Yeah.
Fine twine linens shall be on Aaron when he ministers, and its sound shall be heard when he goes into the holy place before the Lord, and when he comes out, so that he does not die. You shall make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it like the engraving of a signet, holy to the Lord. And you shall fasten it on the turban by the cord of blue. It shall be on the front of the turban. It shall be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron shall bear any guilt from the holy things that the people of Israel consecrate as their gifts, as their holy gifts. It shall regularly be on his forehead, and that they may be accepted before the Lord. You shall weave the coat and checker work of fine linen, and you shall make a turban of fine linen, and you shall make a sash embroidered with needlework. For Aaron's sons you shall make coats and sashes and caps. You shall make them for glory and beauty, and you shall put them on Aaron, your brother, and on his sons with him, and shall anoint them and ordain them and consecrate them, that they may serve me as priest. You shall make for them linen undergarments to cover their naked flesh. They shall reach from their hips to the thighs, and they shall be on Aaron and on his sons when they go into the tent of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister in the holy place, lest they bear guilt and die. This shall be a statute forever for him and for his offspring after him. Good night. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see.
You think Aaron's offspring are still watching over the ark?
I would hope so, but no one's been able to find the ark, right? Like a lot of people have been looking for it forever.
I think people know where it is.
Mm.
Like I think
Weird.
there's like a secret society.
Yeah,
Know where it is.
like Templars or something.
Yeah, Aaron's offspring.
Yeah, yeah, quite possibly. A lot of I was talking to my coworkers about this, about like where like the Ark of the Covenant is, and like some of these other like things that are in the Bible, is that they're in like the basement of like the Catholic Church in Rome or something.
Oh, in the Vatican.
Yeah, the Vatican. Thank you. Yeah, they got them like stored away in there where no one will ever know where they are.
Definitely in the Vatican, I'll tell you that much.
And clothes.
I mean, I really don't have much to say. He's just like literally just giving them like building instructions at this point.
Yeah, he's telling them, how to make all this stuff. Here, I'm gonna do this real quick. I don't like that you can't just switch it
What do you mean?
to another tab.
You can't just present a second tab?
No. I click present, but if I'm sharing my screen, it tells me I have to stop sharing the screen before I can like pick another tab.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, I pulled up about what this would look like.
Can you click on one of those, make it bigger?
Doesn't really make it much bigger.
I feel like that's not what we just read. Like, where's the rings on the sides, the breastplate?
So they're like right here. Here. You see a little bit better?
Yeah.
So these are the rings on the side of the breastplate, and they go down and tie. And there's the checkered robe thing that we just read.
Yep.
And the chest piece is, I guess, this blue behind the. Or no, the chest piece is this with the stones in it, right?
Where's my velvet linen?
Red and purple and fine twined linens.
Huh.
I mean, that's just one example, but not really seeing much else that's any better, to be
Yeah,
honest.
honestly, the biggest thing that's like kind of a shock is he has to wear a turban so that God doesn't kill him for the sins of Israel.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Whoa. I almost accidentally just closed this tab. That wouldn't have been good.
Oh,
The StreamYard tab.
the StreamYard tab?
Yeah, I almost closed the StreamYard tab. I would have been like, whoop, where'd it go?
Oh,
All right. Exodus 29. Consecration of the priests. Now, this is what you shall do to them to consecrate them, that they may serve me as priests. Take 1 bull of the herd and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers smeared with oil. You shall make them of fine wheat flour. You shall put them in 1 basket and bring them in the basket, and bring the bull and the 2 rams. You shall bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Then you shall take the garments and put on Aaron the coat and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod and the breastpiece, and gird him with the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And you shall set the turban on his head and put the holy crown on the turban. You shall take the anointing oil and pour it on his head and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons and put coats on them, and you shall gird Aaron and his sons with sashes and bind caps on them. And the priesthood shall be theirs by a statute forever. Thus you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. Then you shall bring the bull before the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. Then you shall kill the bull before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take part of the blood of the bull and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger, and the rest of the blood you shall pour out at the base of the altar. You shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, and the long lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and burn them on the altar. But the flesh of the bull and its skin and its dung you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. Then you shall take one of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. Oh, we can't even say that word, can we? Kill?
Yeah, we can just bleep it.
All right.
You shall off.
And you shall delete.
Yeah. I think that's what people are saying now. It's so stupid.
Yeah. You're saying that that's like that for YouTube, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Honestly, we'll
Yeah.
probably get striked for a couple of these things. Talking about like slavery and whatnot.
Yeah, honestly.
We'll figure it. We'll get to that road when we get there.
Yeah. I'll do my best to say delete or off.
Just read it. We can bleep it later. It's not a big deal.
All right. And you shall kill the ram and shall take its blood and throw it against and throw it against the sides of the altar. Then vegans really aren't going to like hearing this podcast. Then you shall cut the ram into pieces and wash its entrails and its legs and put them with its pieces and its head and burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. See, the Lord knows what's good. You shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall kill the ram and take part of its blood and put it on the tip of the right ear of Aaron and on the tips of the right ears of his sons and on the thumbs of their right hands and on the great toes of their right feet, and throw the rest of the blood against the sides of the altar. Then you shall take part of the blood that is on the altar and of the anointing oil and sprinkle it on Aaron and his garments and on his sons and his sons' garments with him. He and his sons' garments shall be holy, and his sons' garments with him. You shall also take the fat from the ram, and the fat tail, and the fat that covers the entrails, and the long lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and the right thigh, for it is a ram of ordination, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of bread mixed with oil, and 1 wafer out of the basket of unleavened bread that is before the Lord. You shall put all these on the palms of Aaron and on the palms of his sons, and wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. Then you shall take them from their hands and burn them on the altar on top of the burnt offering as a pleasing aroma before the Lord. It is a food offering to the Lord. You shall take the breast of the ram of Aaron's ordination and wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be your portion. And you shall consecrate the breast of the wave offering that is waved, and the thigh of the priest's portion that is contributed from the ram of ordination, from what was Aaron's and his sons. It shall be for Aaron and his sons as a perpetual due from the people of Israel, for it is a contribution. It shall be a contribution from the people of Israel from their peace offerings, their contribution to the Lord. The holy garments of Aaron shall be for his sons after him. They shall be anointed in them and ordained in them. The son who succeeds him as priest, who comes into the tent of meeting to minister in the holy place, shall wear them 7 days. You shall take the ram of ordination and boil its flesh in a holy place, and Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket in the entrance of the tent of meeting. They shall eat those things with which atonement was made at their ordination and consecration, but an outsider shall not eat of them, because they are holy. And if any of the flesh for the ordination or of the bread remain until the morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. Thus you shall do to Aaron and to his sons according to all that I have commanded you. Through 7 days, through 7 days shall you ordain them, and every day you shall offer a bull as a sin offering for atonement. Also, you shall purify the altar when you make atonement for it, and shall anoint it to consecrate it. 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and consecrate it, and the altar shall be most holy. Whatever touches the altar shall become holy. Now, this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 lambs a year old, day by day regularly. 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. And with the first lamb, a 10th measure of fine flour mingled with a fourth of a hin of beaten oil, and a fourth of a hin of wine for a drink offering. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight, and shall offer with it a grain offering and its drink offering, as in the morning, for a pleasing aroma, a food offering to the Lord. It shall be a regular burnt offering throughout your generations at the entrance of the tent of meeting before the Lord, where I will meet with you to speak to you there. There I will meet with the people of Israel, and it shall be sanctified by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. Aaron also and his sons I will consecrate to serve me as priests. I will dwell among the people of Israel and will be their God, and they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God.
You know, it's fascinating how much blood is significant with these sacrifices. Like they're taking the blood of this stuff and they're putting it all over the garments of the people, and they're like considered the
Yeah, and
most
all over
holy.
the altar and stuff.
Yeah, it's so, and they're having to do sacrifices to get this blood. And what is it that cleansed us when Jesus died? It was the blood of Jesus
Yeah,
as a sacrifice.
yeah. Wow. That's so right.
Yeah. So Jesus's blood caused us to not have to take any more blood.
Right. Yeah,
Because
'cause
it's
could you
sacrifice.
imagine trying to follow all of these rules
Mm-mm.
for the atonement and everything,
No.
for the consecration? Like, what if you forgot a step?
Well, I mean, so this is for Aaron. He's like the priest, right?
Right, right.
But
It's for
still,
Aaron and his sons, right?
right.
But, like,
Yeah.
every time you go to make, like, because, like, the people of Israel can come and make an offering to the Lord, which I don't think they can step into that area because it's a holy place, but they
But
give their stuff as the offerings, right?
oh, crap. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, could you imagine being one of the priests and you're like, "Crap, I forgot to do this."
Yeah, I'd be like, oh no, the kidneys, I threw them outside instead of on the altar.
Yeah. I forgot to splash blood up on the altar, oh no. Also, could you imagine how dirty all this stuff is from all the blood?
Oh no.
Like, and I'm wondering, like, do they clean it, like, after all the offerings? You know what I mean? Or does it just build up there?
I don't, I don't know, dude.
Because he never says anything like, after each offering, you should clean it.
I mean, there is some oils
Yeah.
that smell good. And after all
Frankincense.
this is done, they're burning all the food, so it's pleasing aroma, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would smell pretty good, probably. It'd be like the smell of a
Probably.
feast, you know?
Right, yeah.
Oh, the
Got
altar
it.
of incense is the next passage.
Nice.
I will say though, I cannot stop yawning. I think I need to end it.
Think you wanna call it here?
Yeah, I know it's a little short, but
No, that's alright. It works for me. Well, next one, we'll try to get through the rest of Exodus. There's only, 10 more chapters. So,
yeah, that could either be really short or really long.
I'm sure it's still fairly long.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to try to get through it if we can, but we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So,
All right.
how are we supposed to end these videos?
Pretty sure we're supposed to say like and subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. But like I don't want to do something like cliche, where like it's like oh smash that like button. Like we can't be doing that.
Yeah, no, but when you say it, you got to actually say it. Like smash that like button. You can't.
It just sounds cheesy though, because like people always say it and they're always doing I'll smash that like button.
Yeah, but it's not. You're saying it wrong though. It's smash that like button.
I am saying it just like you're saying it, Bryce. Smash that like button.
No, you got to use your chest more. You gotta say smash
Smash that like button.
No, that's no.
Because I sound
no,
exactly like you.
no, you
It's like,
don't.
thank you guys for liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you were interested, please tune back in next week. We are dropping new videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And God bless y'all.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to smash that like button.
Do any of that. Gosh, dang it, man.
God bless. God bless y'all.